The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tokucast Reviews, episode 91.
Shattered Grid!
We're finally here.
Yes!
Shattered Grid.
It's so interesting that we got to do something that started...
after we started this channel.
Yeah. Like, we knew that Super Sentai was going to keep going, we knew that Kamen Rider was going to keep going, but this was
unexpected.
Yeah, this was an unexpected thing that came in and sort of...
Also, it was not only unexpected, it was like, oh, that's cute. It's a Power Rangers comic. And then this happened and we're like, oh shit.
It's actually good.
They're not fucking around.
Yeah, then it's just like, we do still have plans because I know in our original schedule I put on there that we're going to end up doing the first 3 Metal Heroes and some of the other random ones.
Hey, that schedule's fucked.
Yeah, I have to redo that schedule super duper hard. But this is a thing that sort of got input into it. Ninninger exists. We're going to get to it next month. Just to make sure that everybody knows this will be our last review for the month of March. We will have other videos going up, but the last week of March and the first weekend of April, the last weekend of March is my birthday, and the first week of April, I'm out of town.
So we'll try to do a couple streams for the rest of the month, but this is going to be our last review. Yeah, just our review.
We'll have, tier lists.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, those and Tokucast and stuff. Those will still be out, but for everything else, the next review won't be until April. There is no joy. There is only pain. I'm not looking forward to it.
You're talking about the Ninja.
Yeah.
No one's looking forward to the Ninja except for them because they like to watch us suffer.
And it will end up being, until Beast Morphers finishes, the last in comparison that we have to do as well. That'll be a weird one because I actually really like that series. I won't like it going into the next one, but here we are. Alright, so let's start off with Shattered Grid. Now, this of course has to deal with Lord Drakon, and it does have a crossover. We're talking mostly just about the MMPR comics here. We're not going to talk about Go-Go, where the Ranger Slayer first shows up.
Yeah.
But we will obviously have to talk about her because she is integral.
Yeah, but say she is relevant.
Yeah. So this starts off, it's a few months after the first story arc of the books, the Black Dragon arc. Lord Drakon was defeated, his power coin destroyed by the Rangers of an alternate reality, the Coinless. And this includes the younger version of himself. And it's interesting to see a lot of the things that start here. We get to see Saba for the first time. Lord Drakon was actually imprisoned. And Saba comes in to try to correct the timeline and tries to kill that Tommy. Or we're just going to call him Lord Drakon here from here on out because that is pretty much his name. But Saba fails. His head gets taken off the sword, effectively killing him. And Drakon ends up taking those powers. It's interesting to see something like that because we didn't, and this is something I love about the fact that the comics are the comics, we get to see so much more about characters like Saba. There are 2 versions of them, and it's really good. So we start off at issue number 24, technically, but Shattered Grid really starts in issue 25. In the future, the Time Force Rangers go to investigate a mysterious rift in space.
As you do.
Yep. Wes warns that not only is this affecting the main timeline, but also the universes of RPM and Dino Charge. And getting close to the rift, the Time Force Megazord basically just shuts down. And into the rift goes Trip, Katie, and Lucas.
Where's the doctor when you need her?
Which one? Ruth, 13, any other ones that came before 1? Who knows? We'll talk about that later. That could be the other video that we could do today.
A rant?
Yeah. Well,
that no one will watch because it's not Toku.
Wes tells Jin to escape and goes back to the past to fix this problem. She escapes just in time as the Megazord explodes, taking Wes with it. And Jin is barely able to escape as a massive Lord Drakon looms overhead. I love the beginning of this arc.
Oh yeah, it sets the stakes.
Because it shows not everybody's going to come out of this alive. Rip.
R.I.P.
In peace. So, back into the command center. Well, following the failed attempt by Saba to assassinate him, Drakon escaped from the Promethea custody, intent on regaining his powers and returning to his dimension. Jason and Tommy confront Grace Sterling over the fact that she held Drakon without their knowledge. And at Ninjor's home, Drakon convinces the Ninja Sage to help repair his connection to the morphing grid. And after passing various trials, he does. Drakon is thankful, but leaves the Sage unaware of his true purpose. So I guess Ninjor just wasn't around for a lot of this. When this initially happened.
Is that necessarily a bad thing?
No, but I'm sitting here like at the same time, bro, you should have felt something happening.
With the power of ninja!
And the power of the morphing grid.
I never said that I love that it's actually called the morphin grid. They it's canonically without the G. Apostrophe. I just love that.
Slang. Alright, now in the command center, Billy, with Training's help, is trying to use the Black Dragon armor to warn the coinless of Drakon's possible return after Jason and Tommy
Because that's what smart people do.
Yeah, literally, the smart people. Drakon snuck into the command center. Yikes. And stole the green chaos crystal. Tommy and Kimberly had taken a slight...
Swear to God, I almost thought you were going to say Chaos Emerald.
I almost did. I'm not going to lie. Tommy and Kim are out on a date, and as Tommy... there was a kiss that was going to happen, but Kim pushed him away.
And then she decided to write a letter.
Well, no, and then she decided that she wanted to kiss and follow him, but by the time that Kim had caught up, Drakon had appeared and killed Tommy, stealing his energy to supercharge the green chaos crystal. Drakon and Kim fight, and Kim is then aided by Jin, the Time Force Pink, but was too late. Drakon escaped back into his world, and all Kim could do was just hold Tommy's body. And then they go back to the command center. Zordon explains that this is a supremely serious problem, but they can't they can't really do anything with Tommy's body. So they had to return him back to the alley so his family could be notified from there.
So that so that it doesn't look odd.
Yeah. Now returning to his world, Lord Drakon reconnected with his army and decided they wanted to confront the disturbance, the Hyperforce Rangers, who had accidentally ended up in this universe following his energy signature. Scorpina, still around, was making a move to claim Serpentera. Drakon forced the Hyperforce team to aid him in stopping her, but forced them to keep Serpentera intact. However, the plan backfired because Marv said no killing, allowing Scorpina to survive and Vesper to take control of Serpentera, crashing it into the ocean, and Drakon cut someone's arm off. As you do when you're Lord Drakon.
Yeah.
Drakon, I think he's actually the most evil out of any of the villains.
Oh no, absolutely. I believe he is a textbook psychopath.
Yeah. And I actually like the fact that we get to see the Rangers go to Tommy's funeral. And Jen had apparently passed out after going with Kim and Tommy's body to the command center, and she is now awake.
Sorry, just have you interjected and Tommy's body.
Pretty much. But with Drakon's messing with the morphing grid, it's been fractured into several pocket dimensions, and Drakon is now invading these worlds to gain more power. This includes the Samurai Rangers. He tries to go to deal with RPM. That did not work, by the way. He tried that. He failed terribly. Because Dr. K.
That was honestly amazing.
Yeah. He tried to recruit her. Dr. K said no. And then blew him out of Corn City. Oh,
God, I miss her.
I do too. And apparently she's supposed to be showing up in Beast Morphers. So that'll be great soon.
Hopefully Ziggy doesn't show up. That'll be awkward.
No. He's not there.
Divorce.
Now, this is also when we get introduced to the emissaries. The red, blue, and yellow ones. I don't know where the other three technically would be. And it's sort of weird that we don't get introduced to them, but I guess it's because those three are just, there's no other of those three.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Technically, because with pink, you also have white in some cases, with green and black, it goes back and forth. It'll be interesting to see the other emissaries that have that, though. All right. And Zordon tries to convince him to cut Dracon's use of the morphing grid. Nope. Because they ignore him, denying that Dracon and his army are a dangerous threat. Haha!
That's that.
Now, the Dracon also had these dragon cannons, which could drain the Rangers of their powers. And when he tried to go and recruit Dr. K, she, one, said no. Two, figured out how to reverse the dragon cannon's effect, and then kicked him the hell out of her timeline.
Yeah.
Now, the Rangers back at the command center use both the Black Dragon and the Time Force technologies to contact Dr. K and the RPM Rangers, only to find out that Dracon has evolved again. He, at this point, is also accompanied by the Psycho Rangers, the SPD-A Squad, and Korag, which I think is the most interesting thing here.
Yeah.
But I guess at that point, it's dependent on where in the timeline he is.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah. In Dracon's world, the Coinless managed to save Ninjor, but at the cost of that Zack's life. Ninjor then reveals to everyone that Dracon is conquering Rangers so he can get access to their powers and to the Morphing Word. With Grace's help, the original 1969 Red Ranger, they use her space colony to travel to the world of the Coinless and confront Dracon's forces. I love this next part because, one, it's Doggy. Doggy is there. He's the best. And Doggy and Zordon go to Rita Repulsa to get her help in suppressing Dracon's power. The plan almost succeeds, but Finster 5 decides to electrocute them, saving his master. After killing Finster 5 in an act of mercy, Dracon connects himself with more morphing energy to assume his final form. I love this scene where they end up getting where they send out like a cry for help to all the other universes.
Mm-hmm.
And all the Rangers come down in like a rain of Rangers.
Yeah.
And Eric's at the front along with Magnum Defender and the others. And there's this one moment where, actually a while ago, because Dracon also has Zeo powers, he portrays himself as Tommy and has a conversation with Jason. And then he goes to where he has that Tommy tied up and then kills him.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like,
Damn.
The only one that we don't actually see him go and fight is the Dino Thunder one.
Yeah.
I feel like that one would have been a very interesting fight because who knows who would have came out on top in that one.
Yeah.
It's a much more experienced Tommy by that point.
Mm-hmm.
With very different powers. But yeah, I also love this one moment after the Rain of Rangers and they get all the reinforcements and there's Zords and everything. There's a moment between Eric and Jen where they like hug each other because they're the only one of the Time Force team left at this point.
Yeah.
And they also, a little bit earlier, Lauren does come with the main team after they try and stop him from getting the samurai powers, try to stop Dracon. And Lauren and Jason have this thing going on now. I have a bit of more of a problem with it, but I feel like it fits, weirdly enough.
There have been weirder.
There have definitely been weirder. But I think it's more of a trauma type of thing tying them together.
Yeah.
But Lauren's a good character. She's especially good in this. She's really take charge, and she is one to fight. And I love her for that. Alright. Now, there is this thing called the Heart of the Master, which is like in the morphing grid, which I guess is Dracon's final goal to get a hold of that.
Yeah.
And take over the universe. And then we end up having the extremely big fight. Dracon has new warriors out there. He has the blue samurai one, the green Zeo one, and Serpentera is now fighting several Megazords. G is dead.
Yeah.
She shows up dead at the front of it. He also has the end space powers after he took, I believe, TJ's. He tried to fight them. That didn't work, but now he has silver space sentries, pinning the ground forces down. Drac tries to order Kira to clear a path for them. Weirdly enough, I remember Dracon tried to go to the Mystic Force team and tried to take their powers, but magic. So, actual magic says,
No.
You tried. Also, Udana froze the hell out of him and kicked him out of their universe.
But he left with the consolation prize. Korag.
Yeah, he did leave with Korag. They try Jin, after a whole bunch of people have started dying, they try to come up with a new Megazord. They do. It's RJ, Cat, Kindle, Trini, Hyperforce Yellow, and it doesn't really have a name. I think it's called the Mega Megazord.
This isn't the graveyard one, is it?
No, that's Kim's, and that's a different one.
That's right.
It's Ranger Slayers. And I just love this whole finale where it's really just a battle royale at this point. Just a straight up war happening. Jason tries to fire a laser to kill.
You're talking about this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
That I see the I almost said Hurricane Jerk. God damn it. Ninja Storm logo on the front.
Yeah, RJ is on the right arm.
Yeah, RJ's on the right arm. I'm trying to remember. There's never been a Ram.
That's Hyperforce Yellow.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is an amalgamation.
Yeah.
Doesn't look bad, but it's an amalgamation.
Jason actually ends up dying in this last part. As he basically ends up going on a suicide mission to open up wherever.
That's kind of what happens on a suicide mission.
Yeah. Well, not always. Serpentera is killed at this point. And the sentries, their connection to the
But if they kill
is lost.
Serpentera, how is the Beetleborgs going to dig it up in the Forever Red special?
Shut up. All right.
Alternate timeline. I know that's a thing. I'm just fucking with you.
But Dracon ends up beating the three emissaries, and he gets the Heart of the Master, and he basically ends up reshaping the universe in his own...
To his own will.
Yeah, and there's like a big wipe that goes throughout the universe. Some of the Rangers that were on Grace's station are transported to basically just an empty universe, more or less, without any connection to the Morphin Grid, which is leading to next arc. We'll talk about that one later. Reality forms, and Lord Dracon basically turns into Superman.
Yeah, he is the hero of this world.
Yes.
Everyone loves him and praises him.
Yep. And his parents are Zordon and Rita. Doggy is now just a regular Earth dog, a blue husky. Yeah.
So I just kept having the image of Tommy going to a phone booth and then going, "It's Morphin time."
Yeah.
And then coming out.
Apparently, Tommy's like soul is still out there because Dracon is seeing him in like the lens of the camera and the mirrors, or I guess the outsides of the building.
A piece of Tommy is still around.
Yeah.
Kind of haunting him.
Pretty much. And he still has his friends and Billy, and he has a butler and Fenster. He visits Jason and Lauren because this whole thing is basically just Dracon being in control of the world, but he tries to come off as a humble person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I love seeing that dichotomy between the rest of the world and what he thinks the world should be.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting.
It is.
Seeing that. And this all starts to break down after a little bit. And Tommy ends up coming back with some of the other Rangers, or rather he fixes the Rangers to how they were before Dracon took everything over. And then Tommy and Dracon end up going into, I guess, just sort of a soul palace for those of you who played Persona 5.
I was thinking Mind Palace.
That also is accurate. That is very accurate for those of you who watch Thomas Sanders. You haven't seen any of the Mind Palaces that they do in there?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm referencing.
It more or less is exactly what it is.
I was referencing Sherlock.
Oh, I mean that, but... the Ranger Slayer comes in and ends up shooting Tommy. Well, he basically just ends up explaining exactly everything that happened up to that point. Her arrow contained a shard of the green Chaos Crystal, and when Dracon stabbed him, his crystal supercharged that one already embedded in him, so he couldn't control his energy. So his soul left. That's how he is here with Dracon.
I'm not understanding a goddamn word you're saying.
That's pretty much exactly what happens.
I understand that's what happens. It doesn't mean it makes sense.
Yes, the Ranger Slayer, the green Chaos Crystal.
I didn't understand it when I read it, and I don't understand it now.
Tommy ends up being around the emissaries, they're still around even after Drakon defeated them.
Right.
And basically, Drakon's ego is the thing that is sort of fracturing at this point, which is why our actual Tommy ends up being able to fight him. Drakon ends up fighting off the other Rangers. Then we end up having the whole Soul Palace issue, and Tommy ends up getting a hold of the heart of the
Master.
Heart of the Master, and just reverts everything and erases Drakon from continuity and resetting everybody.
So that's how they can still fight Serpentera, to get destroyed by a bike.
There we go. But yeah, everything is reset to back to where it was. The timelines are reset. RPM and Down in Charge are back to where they were. Also, the Beast Morphers show up at the end of Shattered Grid for the first time, because this is before their show.
Yeah. So it's very equivalent to whenever the future Sentai shows up in the Sentai Team-Up movie. It's like, they're here. These may not be the characters that show up in the show, but they're here.
Well, it's more like we just have to reset.
Yeah, I know.
We have to go back to before Drakon screwed everything up, so all the teams and everybody are back. No one's dead anymore. Outside of those who actually need to be dead. And that's the end of Shattered Grid. What did we think?
I loved every part until the end.
Why?
It just seemed a bit, I don't want to say Deus Ex Machina-y, but I feel, I just feel like the solution came out of nowhere. If that makes sense. I have no problem with the villain wins, and then, something happens that reverses that, and I don't mind the whole we have to reset time, because they had to do that regardless.
Yeah, they have.
Because they have they have the continuity to keep up with. It's just that this whole, all I'm saying is that I would have preferred more hints or foreshadowing that Tommy's soul was still around during, the events leading up to it, not just until he made this new world.
Yeah. That's
all I'm asking. Overall, solid A-. Maybe even just a normal A.
I would definitely give this an A+, actually. And I understand exactly where you're coming from.
That's a nitpick at best.
Yeah, the whole Tommy Soul thing definitely could have been...
Also, it was just really hard to follow. Like I said, I didn't...
Just that portion?
Yeah, it was... It was hard to understand why this was happening and why this is working.
It could be because we didn't read Go-Go.
It could be because we didn't read Go-Go.
To explain, the in-between portion and things of that nature, to figure out exactly how the Ranger Slayer got to that point where she shot Tommy initially to Drakon stabbing him. Mm-hmm. I think that actually was explained in there. We also got the Grave Zord and Go-Go. And I just love how everything really ties together, and it showed that there were consequences.
Oh, no, absolutely.
People died, and that was it until we end up having the reversal. Really, I feel like the Deus Ex Machina could have been the heart of the Master.
Yeah.
But because of the fact that it was previously mentioned and shown that anyone could use it, it just depends who got there first.
No, that's I really didn't have a problem with the heart of the Master, really. I would also like to point out just a little bit of hypocrisy that we're doing. We're praising this show for killing off characters and not destroying it for reversing all those deaths, even though Bill did the same thing. They killed off multiple characters and then brought them all back at the end of the show.
I'm getting several Bills.
Build. Kamen Rider Build.
Oh, Bill, duh.
No, Kamen Rider Build.
I thought you said Bill. I was like, Doctor Who?
No, the guy from Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, him. Yeah.
No, Build.
Build has a different issue in doing it, though.
This was written better.
We'll talk about it.
This was written better. I'm just going to say it. This was written better. And we didn't see it coming a mile away.
Yeah. Yeah. After the whole Superman world ended up happening,
because this is a different continuity technically, or a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely could have just done, so yeah, they're dead.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Sorry, not sorry. War sucks.
I also love the fact that when they say they're going to end up resetting the multiverse, it's like that coinless world will still end up existing. And the emissaries are like, yeah, that's pretty much for the best. We shouldn't try to change too much. I mean, there will be some changes due to the structural damage of space and time.
Just don't fuck with the butterfly too much.
Yeah, it's like a broken pane of glass that is glued back together. Not all the pieces will fit. Exactly.
Yeah, and which is funny you bring that up because the Flash had a very similar explanation where he holds up a cup and he shakes it until a piece breaks off and he goes, "You can put it back, but there are still cracks.
Yeah.
You can fix what you fucked up, but there will still be issues with it."
And we get a little bit into the Ranger's psyche in this. It's just like Jason says that we sort of don't have a choice, but it is a selfless sacrifice.
Let me ask you this. Since we just had a video come out recently. Boom Comics. Jason Lee Scott. Where does he go on the Red Ranger tier list?
I put him at an S. He's a much stronger character in the Boom Comics, just overall. Up to everything I've read so far with him being Omega Red. It's very interesting seeing him, one, actually be a character, and two, his arc is... It shows him as a much more selfless character, but
he has more dimensions.
And he's so... There's a lot of guilt.
Oh, yeah.
With him.
Leader's guilt is always a problem.
Yeah.
Did I make the right call? And people got hurt because of the call I made. Yeah. Stuff like that.
It's like, even though we have this decision to make and we might not remember it, it doesn't mean that it didn't mean anything.
The issue with the original Jason Lee Scott is that he was written in the 90s.
He was written as an archetype of a character. This Jason, however, is a very... He was
written in the 90s for children, which means they weren't trying very hard.
I'm a little upset that Jason and Lauren didn't get to stick around together.
It happens.
I mean, yeah, but I like Lauren enough, especially in the comics, for her to be, I would love for her to be more of a main character. Not any of the rest of the Samurai team, because god awful, but she was the best part.
I mean, who knows? They might Boom Comics could make the Samurai team bearable.
With them doing this summer, the Time Force with Wes and Jen, I feel like that could have been... we could have been having one also on different characters.
They have much more... those two characters have much more of a foundation.
Yeah. I just love the way that the comics are doing it right now.
Oh, no, absolutely.
In the Omega...
God, if they ever animated this or produced this to an actual series...
Or gave us like a full game, not a fighting game, but a Muso game. The Shattered Grid storyline.
Oh, like...
Dynasty Warriors?
Yeah, oh...
Or rather, the Kamen Rider Batroid games. One of those two. Come on. But just talking about Shattered Grid, I love this storyline.
Maybe not a Muso, or it could be like more of a Darksiders Devil May Cry hack and slash.
I just don't want it to be a tactics RPG. I just hate TRPGs.
No, yeah, those are awful. Strategy games.
Yeah, I'd much rather just go in and make a strategy a different way. Hell, if they do something turn-based, who knows what'll happen? It'll just be insane.
Anyway.
I can picture this being a turn-based game.
I can too. Doesn't mean I'd play it. I don't really do turn-based.
I do. But yeah, Shattered Grid as a whole.
Amazing.
I think it's great.
It's fantastic.
It's definitely worth it.
It's the type of stories Power Ranger needs.
Yeah. And that's why they're so highly rated. I mean, they're highly rated for a reason. However, the storyline that comes after this. Beyond the Grid.
Yeah.
Is not great.
It's not terrible.
We'll talk about it because we won't have having a whole episode dedicated to
it's not
Grid.
Awful, though.
No, but I have reservations, and once we end up getting to
you also remember, think of it as one big movie. Now I'm talking about all three parts. The Black Dragon, Shattered Grid, Beyond the Grid. We have reached the final battle climax. Everything else is falling action from this point. So it's going to be boring. It's not going to be as exciting. It's going to be dull.
Well, no. I feel like because, other things have done this before, but I feel like with this one, it's more of a writing thing, and we will talk about it once we get to Beyond the Grid.
You're correct. Let us know what you think of Shattered Grid in the comments down below.
Yes. And next time.
Follow us on all the things. Do that this time and next time.
Episode 92 will be out April 11th.
Don't say it.
Ninninger.
Fuck.
And then, until further notice that W's Morphus is done, the last episode
we will have
in comparison.
Yep, we will have, and we will still have like our Wednesday videos and stuff. We have a bunch of stuff planned for you on that. Some are really looking forward to your reactions.
I'm excited.
We filmed something a while back that
we'll put out eventually. You'll know when, but eventually.
It was the most fun we had filming something in a while.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It's not Toku Pitch.